Hey guys, this is I Am Vanguard, David.
And Daniel from I Am Vanguard.
Gonna do a top 5 video on brake rides.
Brake rides.
To be honest, this is take 2 because our first one got deleted for some reason.
It was perfect, and then you guys lost the file.
And on the side here, we got Domino Players 21.
Hey, what's up?
Helping us with the brake ride.
Yo, I'm just here.
You're just filler.
Sure. Alright, going to number 5.
What was it again?
Daikaizer.
Yeah.
Well, he's more like a card where it just raises the skill of ratio of winning, so.
It makes you a better player.
Yes.
No, tell me how good it feels to drive check that grapefruit.
Okay, but on a more serious note though, like what this card pretty much does for you is just for riding. You are putting your opponent in a corner just for riding because you now have the potential to pierce their guardian, which is a pretty scary thing. Like even your perfect guards can be killed. So just riding this alone is pretty much going to drive your opponent up the wall, either make them overguard or just make the bad decision in general, like just taking it all. Or
so pretty much a sack.
I mean, it's basically like an upgrade from Joe and Ashley because I mean, he does get the +10 in crit, and normally the answer that most people. Yeah, but most of the time, most people say, well, I can just perfect guard it. Well, obviously that can cancel out perfect guard, but the fact is that it pressures your opponent to try to use up a lot of hand to play around it. Then you start dropping your bosses like reverse Daiusha or great Daiusha, depending which one you play.
Right.
So once you wear them out with that, then
really good. I mean, if you ride into reverse Daiusha, that's pretty good too because you minus the opponent to what, -10, and they're gonna be at a 1 or a 0.
Either way, it's a win-win situation. Like when you ride this, so that's why we thought he was number 5 in our list. Of course, there are better brake rides, which is why he's number 5. But
he's still good, honestly.
Yeah,
he enhances the deeply stack.
Yeah, moving on to number 4.
He enhances the skills.
Battle and Dragger.
I know some people are gonna bitch about this, but the 3 here are just so much better than what he does.
Well, why do you guys put Dragger at number 4?
Of course, Battle and Dragger is very powerful, and like what he does is very like threatening and scary. But the issue that I saw with him is that, well, I guess it's not the brake ride itself that's inconsistent, but the deck itself. Like if you don't run into him,
right,
then well, I guess that holds true for all brake ride decks. But the thing is that if you are going to like brake ride on top of him, like himself on top of brake ride, then it doesn't really gain as much, like as much plus for you as the other brake ride does for you. Like and a lot of people know how to kind of like get around this, like just keep yourself at low damage. But of course, this brake ride Battle and Dragger still is very threatening. Like what you can do, just giving 10k to all your rear guards, front rear guards.
It's just the classic strategy of just going all in and just making that big push for game.
So it's just a bigger attack strategy than the.
I mean, he's a win condition. He's a win condition.
He just adds the extra win condition to spikes. So I mean, it just helps spikes get in faster to the opponent's
but
life points.
It still gives spikes a longer kill range compared to other decks. So,
right.
As I like to call it. So.
It's like they were using a rifle and then they get a shotgun.
They just blast them off.
But going to number 3.
Let's play Farmville.
Illusionary Avenger, Mordred Phantom.
We like to call him Farmville just because, in case you guys don't know, we call the term of just using Mordred on top of himself to use a skill, we call it farming for Paladin, so that's why we like to call him the farmer.
But as you can see, what this guy does for like Shadow Paladins in general really is that it just ups the consistency of the deck so much by himself. Like just riding on top of him and just getting anything you want, and it gets a +5k boost. That is pretty good. I mean,
easy
like,
tutor.
Yeah,
plus, man.
you get your Blasted Dark Avenger or Tar 2 or like just a beater. I mean, anything you need. I mean, that's just, I mean, really good. Like Royal Paladins wish they had that, but they don't. So
right. I mean, I wish they did, but
you think that the Ashley would do that?
And I mean, it's just a pretty consistent card compared to these all-out cards. So that's why we put him right on the middle because he's pretty consistent what he does.
Yeah, like brake rides that can give consistency to the deck. Like they can pretty much make the deck. So that's one of the criteria that we were kind of looking for when we were making this top 5 list, and like how much they do for the deck itself, and as well as the consistency.
Well, Mordred is essentially the deck.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean,
he is a farmer.
Any effective brake ride that can be used by itself to continue recycling the skill essentially will be a very, very effective brake ride overall.
Exactly.
How effective this card was I was just running the trial deck itself, just with the the old perfect cards. It was still good just because of the break ride effect.
Yeah, I mean it makes Raging 4 what he is.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, so.
But oh, and before we get to number 2, our honorable mention is what was it? Eradicator Ignition Dragon that came out in set 14.
So good. Better Void Sword.
Yeah, it's actually a better Vowing Sword Dragon.
Already an upgrade.
Yeah, kind of lasts 1 and then let your opponent retire 2 cards. And letting your opponents like choose what to retire isn't even an issue because I mean you're already just like hard minusing your opponent like up 2 units. So
they have to call 2 more to replace that. Or
yeah, and if you're like riding Gauntlet Buster over this, then you're already getting crazy like power boost from it because it counts each unit that you retired. So.
The Ignition is very synergistic with just about any of the boss Eradicator, except maybe like Tempest Bulb. That's another argument. I mean, just even using Descendant or Gauntlet Buster. I mean, just killing 2 rear guards and then dealing with the middle Vanguard column is still very annoying. And plus, Ignition Dragon already an upgrade from Vowing Sword just because he's very effective to reuse as well. Like
it's not just 1, but it's 2 cards, so that's very good.
So it's automatically a lot better. So the 1 counterblast is very efficient too.
So, other way, and moving on to number 2.
Dauntless Drive.
Dauntless Drive
Dragon.
Dragon.
That disapproval.
The boss.
Shout out to Vanguard people. Dauntless.
Dauntless Drive.
But David, what exactly did he like do to make it to our top 2?
I mean, himself, he is already a good card because if you break ride another Kagero unit, he can restand.
Yeah, Restander's just any Restander is really good, honestly.
And then with the recent sets and just all the cards in general, there's a lot of cards that can gain crits by himself, like Blast Bulk or I mean, Inferno doesn't gain plus crit, but he gets a plus 10, so he's gonna be a 31 attacker, attacking 2 times. So that's good itself. I mean, that's good already. And then, of course, as you know, the new Grade 4 came out, which is Nouvelle, which. It's like a Silent Tom and then negates trigger, so if
Silent Tom coming at you 2 times with a drive check, that is crazy.
That's crazy.
It's what's topping in Japan right now, and for a reason.
Yeah.
So broke.
I mean, with Dauntless Drive Dragon, I mean, he's really high in the list because he's doing what a Break Ride is designed to do, which is just enhance the deck, and also it just makes their bosses more effective. You can even, like, of course, you can ride Dauntless over Dauntless because, I mean, plus 10 attacking twice is still amazing, but he can make even other underrated Grade 3 Kagero seem a lot better, like the classic Set 1 Aleph, Eclipse, Goku, or, well, you have Dominant Drive now, but, yeah. I mean, just for Vanguard to essentially take older classic cards that seem to be shunned out of the format and just make them a lot better and more playable, that automatically makes it at a really high on this list.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't get it when people say like there's not many Grade 3s that can abuse it, but I mean, like there really was, like there were a lot of Grade 3s that could abuse the effect. So.
Just restanding Vanguard is just very effective. I mean, people are just being picky if they're going to say, oh, synergistic. I get to attack twice. There's really not much more to it.
I mean, even the old DN.
And I mean, of course, yeah, we saw DN Dauntless top in the world recently, and I mean, there's a good reason why. So
it's really good already.
So it's keeping Kagero in that high tier status. So I mean,
where they should be.
It definitely deserves that kind of recognition, of course.
Biased. Anyways.
So moving on to number 1.
Top 1, yay.
Infinite Zero Dragon, Star Vader.
Everyone's favorite breaker.
Oh man, this card's gonna shit on everybody.
Everything.
It is the star of the show right now.
But yeah, the reason that he's on top of our list is that, well, to say simply, he is pretty much the backbone of Link Joker clan as a whole. Like, the clan cannot really function without him. Like, they can function, but like they can't really do what they do well without him. Because what you do when you break right over him is that you essentially get 2 free locks just for riding, which not only like, you know, gives you the lock that you need to enable your boss's effect, but it also saves you up on like a couple of shieldings as well next turn. So like that in itself, just for riding, that is insanely good. Especially combined with Nebula Lord or Chaos Breaker, then this thing becomes a staple in any Link Joker deck. Then you can't really like consider not putting it in.
I mean, he does what he's supposed to do in the...
Yeah, I mean...
He's a break ride that is...
Yeah, like the Nebula Lord can gain pluses to the front rows just for riding, or Chaos Breaker, they can do +6, all that crazy shenanigans. So, Like
I mean, no offense to Chaos Breaker Dragon, I respect you and all as a card, but he just makes you broken.
Yeah, he.
If you don't have him as your assistant, you can't do anything.
Like I would say, he's the main problem card for Link Joker. Not actually like Chaos Breaker is a problem, but he is like the core that actually makes it a problem. So. Yeah, that's pretty much the top 5 break ride that we kind of
had. This is like a take 2, so we pretty
for
much
the current Japanese meta. Of course, we're not talking about anything that has been spoiled in set 15 yet because
let's not talk about set 15.
No.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's
of course it's not out yet. So like we can't really
guys
judge it yet.
just learn to be patient. Wait for the cards.
Like we can't really make any judgments on it yet. Of course, because we don't know what everything else does yet. So, but of course we will talk about it later on when we get all the spoilers and as well as the confirmations.
Even I'm excited for set 15. So
yeah. So look forward to that. So yeah, guys, that's about it. This is Daniel.
David.
From I Am Vanguard, Imager Victory.
I Am Vanguard. Also, shout out to Domino Players 21.
Yo, subscribe to everybody.
Subscribe, yay!
And leave thumbs up.
Be happy.